Hi, my name is Stacy Borden. I'm the grounds manager at the University of Kentucky. We are honored to be participating in the PGMS 2021 Coast to Coast Challenge and look forward to spending the next 45 minutes taking you on a tour of our campus. I'll be showing you our tree canopy, standards and upkeep, maintenance teams, waste management practices, and some of our outreach and restoration projects. To get us started, here's a short video from the president of the university, Dr. Eli Capilouto.
Hello, I'm Eli Capilouto, president of the University of Kentucky. No matter the time of year, one of my favorite things to do is walk around our campus and marvel at the beauty of this special place. This beauty and our campus spaces would not exist if not for the hard work of a special group of staff members on our campus. More than 70 UK Grounds Department staff members work year-round to create and maintain around 800 acres of outdoor space, providing a safe, welcoming environment for our campus community. This past year, we've seen their commitment more than ever before. They work nearly around the clock for days on end when severe weather threatens the safety of our campus. The UK Grounds team is also critically important in helping us meet our sustainability goals. They maintain a campus forest and more than 14,000 trees that provide clean air and regulate stormwater flows. The grounds teams work hard to keep the campus litter-free and contribute to overall university efforts to minimize the waste we send to the landfill. I am so proud of these individuals for partnering with members of the community to reimagine our outdoor spaces as living, learning labs, creating new opportunities for education and outreach. I am deeply grateful for every staff member who works tirelessly to help us be the university of, for, and with Kentucky.
The University of Kentucky was chartered in February 1865 by the Kentucky Legislature. Currently, over 31,000 students attend UK in the institution's 16 colleges, a graduate school, 93 undergraduate programs, 99 master programs, 66 doctoral programs, and 4 professional programs. The campus covers over 800 acres in the middle of Lexington and includes 2 hospitals, all of the university's athletic complexes, and arenas, except for basketball, which is played at Rupp Arena in downtown Lexington, and the 100-acre Arboretum and State Botanical Garden of Kentucky. The grounds department is made up of 68 full-time employees, student workers, and STEPS temporary workers, led by me, grounds manager Stacy Borden, grounds superintendent Jerry Hart, 4 grounds supervisors. Campus is portioned into 3 maintenance zone supervisors, a turf team supervisor, the arborist team, and the arboretum. We maintain 319 acres of turf, 33 acres of landscape beds, 627 outdoor waste containers, 6 multi-deck parking structures, 33 acres of roads, 133 acres of parking lots, 68 acres of sidewalks, 1,642 storm drains, around 14,000 trees, and well over 20,000 shrubs. We're currently in the process of cataloging our shrubs, and we'll get a more accurate count of that once the process is completed. One of our main focuses at UK is our tree canopy. We have over 14,000 trees on our campus. Before my position was created at UK, all of the tree work was being performed by an outside contractor. The contractor performing the work were not ISA certified arborists on site doing the work. These folks that were doing our work were taking care of our dead trees, they were removing dead branches from trees, dealing with clearance conflicts, and they did the work very safely, and they did make good pruning cuts. But they were not pruning our trees for good branch spacing, good structure, and for aesthetic value, and they were not providing plant health care services. So the administration wanted to bring a tree care company basically in-house to perform all of the work within our department. So in order to do that, we had to start from scratch. We had to hire the crew to do the work, and we had to outfit that crew with all of the equipment necessary for them to perform their job safely and efficiently. So we had to hire 2 ISA certified arborists. In the process of getting this team outfitted, we had to buy all of the climbing equipment needed for 2 arborists, all of the rigging equipment needed for this team to perform their work. So all the rigging ropes, all the blocks, the pulleys, the loopy slings and the whoopie slings, and just everything that you would need to safely rig a tree or rig branches out of trees safely. We had to get a chipper truck, which we had a chipper, but we did not have a truck to pull it with. So we had to outfit and have a truck custom built for us. We had to acquire all of the necessary PPE for this team to work safely. We decided to go with chainsaw pants instead of chaps. That way they were always protected no matter what, and nobody had to be reminded to put their chaps on, which is been a common theme through the tree care industry. They're hot and people don't like wearing them, so we circumvented that and just provided our crew with chainsaw pants. We have communication systems built into our hard hats to ease communication on the noisy, loud job sites, which makes it much safer and more efficient to do the work. And we had to get all of the chainsaws that they needed to perform this work. So it was really building out a in-house tree company from the ground up, which frankly was kind of fun for me to do. In addition to all this equipment, we decided to go with a hybrid spider lift. We got an 89-foot spider lift that has a diesel engine on it and an electric motor. They don't work compatibly with each other, so the diesel engine does not charge our electric batteries, but they can be operated independently of one another. The cost of this unit was shared between our building operators and the grounds department, so that's why we needed to go with a hybrid unit. That way we can take this machine inside of buildings as we need to. A few ways that we helped achieve some sustainability goals with our arborist team is we use biodegradable vegetable bar oil in all of our chainsaws. And we outfitted the team with several battery-powered chainsaws and a battery-powered blower to do the pruning work and the kind of the smaller work that those saws can handle, especially when we're working around classroom buildings where we're trying to be as quietly as possible. So we can run our lift on the electric motor and using our electric powered chainsaws, and we can be very, very quiet and doing really good quality work. When I came on board at UK, the tree protection standards being used on capital projects were provided by the landscape architect firm that was subcontracted by the lead architect. Some aspects of these standards were based on outdated information, and other parts were okay. The issue I had with this approach was that the standards were different depending on which LA firm was on the project. It was a lot of work for me to determine if and when the tree protection standard was or was not being followed, and what course of action was available to me when a tree protection zone was violated. With planting standards, seeing how trees were being installed on recently completed capital projects, it was clear to me that the planting standards also needed to be updated and enforced. Every tree I saw was planted deep, burlap and cages were not removed, and mulch was excessively applied on the trunks. The first student worker, as part of the arborist team, performed over 300 root collar excavations to remove excess soil and mulch on a recently completed capital project. With these standards being part of the university's official design standards, it has made it much easier to communicate with the design teams what the expectations are and what the consequences are if the standards, which are part of the contract, are not followed. The soil profile rebuilding standard has recently been accepted into the official design standards and will be implemented on new projects moving forward. We do have it included on a project that has been delayed due to COVID, but will be back on track in the next year. Our in-house arborist team is made up of a 3-person full-time crew. This crew includes 2 ISA certified arborists, a ground support arborist who will work toward becoming an ISA certified arborist, We usually employ 1 to 2 student workers or interns part-time throughout their school year and through the summer. And our team works with some of our other grounds department crews as needed if we need some extra hands on our jobs. Our in-house arborist team is able to respond to all aspects of needed tree care. They plant trees, they prune young trees for good branch structure, pruning for needed clearance, they perform tree removals, stump grinding, we do tree assessments for risk, we perform plant healthcare applications and soil remediation with compressed air tools, we transplant trees, and we train our fellow employees on proper pruning techniques and tree health care. And we work with students as part of classes, as well as student volunteer events. One of the other big visual changes that was made on campus was the increasing and addition of tree rings and mulch beds. The new minimum standard for a tree ring is now 5 feet in diameter, and in many cases, the mulch extends to the drip line of the trees. Shady areas under trees where turf was struggling has been converted to mulch. COVID-19 related budget constraints created an opportunity to diversify the type of mulch we are using and save our department tens of thousands of dollars a year. Now, instead of spending money on triple shredded hardwood bark mulch as our standard mulch, we have 5 local tree services dump their wood chips for our crews to use. Our crews were a little reluctant at first, but after using the chips for the first few weeks, the comments have been positive. They don't weigh as much as the triple shredded mulch, which makes them easier to move and spread. They do a better job suppressing new weed growth. They brighten up the shady landscapes. They have a uniform appearance once they're spread. They hide the dead weeds better and the fallen tree debris better. And they maintain a freshly applied look much longer because of this. And they help improve our soil biology a lot more effectively. One really fun thing that has happened with our addition and expanding our mulching is an event known as Mulch Monday. The university's Executive Vice President of Administration and Finance, Dr. Eric Monday, wanted to have a day of service for all of his direct reports. He saw the work that the Urban Forest Initiative was doing with the student mulching events, cleverly dubbed Mulch Madness, and thought this would be a great thing for his administrative teams to do. So in 2016, we held the first Mulch Monday on a Monday morning. Teams of administrative staff come out to a designated site on campus that has been prepared by the grounds teams. Mulch piles are staged around the site, and all the tools are laid out. In a few short hours, over 100 yards of mulch is moved and spread, and Dr. Monday treats everyone to lunch at the nearest dining hall. This is a great opportunity for the administrative staff to work alongside the grounds department and get to know each other a little better. And it demonstrates just how hard the grounds crews work every day. This event has become a tradition since, but was interrupted by COVID. We are planning its return this year and are looking forward to it. In 2014, the grounds department initiated its first campus tree inventory. Due to construction on the south end of campus, the inventory only covered about half of the trees on campus. This initial platform that the inventory system was on was a desktop-based database and only allowed for 5 users. It was difficult to take this out into the field and update information and add to our inventory. So in 2018, we switched to a web-based platform that allowed unlimited users. With this increased functionality, we were able to work with student workers, forestry classes that were teaching inventory data collection, and the arborist and grounds teams to complete the rest of the campus tree inventory. The new platform provides much more functionality, which includes eco-benefit calculations for individual trees, selected groups of trees, or the entire inventory. Tree protection and critical root zones can be represented on a map and shared with project teams working on construction. Tree risk assessment and appraisal data can be collected and stored with each tree in the database. And work order management makes it simple and easy for us to keep up with all of the work that needs to be done on campus. The system provides numerous reports and filters to interact with the inventory data, and a service request portal for anyone to report issues that need our attention. So with our inventory now being on a web-based platform, anybody in the general public who has this URL has access to our tree inventory. So I know that people have used our inventory to work on their tree ID and learn about the basic ecological benefits that these trees provide. So it's a really, really great tool for visitors to our campus who are curious about trees, and they can learn a little bit about what they see right in front of them. So with a campus as old as ours, we have a lot of really interesting and old, unique trees. So one unique tree that we have on campus is our War Mother tree. This is a bur oak that was planted in 1924 by the Council of War Mothers. We know about this tree because there is extensive documentation and letters that were uncovered in our archives that show the correspondence between the War Mothers Council and President McVeigh, who was president of the university at that time. Thanks to Nick Williamson at the Urban Forest Initiative, who uncovered all of this information and put together this story to share, that we know that there was this lengthy correspondence, letters sent back and forth to coordinate this tree being planted on our campus in honor of the soldiers from Kentucky that died in World War I. We have a really cool, unique specimen on our campus, which is a saguaro cypress. This is a Chamaecyparis piscifera. It's a 20-inch diameter, and the only one I know of in Fayette County and possibly the state. Our largest tree on campus is a 64-inch diameter field elm, which is Ulmus minor. And this tree is located in the front yard of the president's residence on campus. And a small but really unique tree that we have, it's small because it's still a baby, but we were gifted a survivor ginkgo tree from Green Legacy Hiroshima. The seed was collected from one of 6 trees that survived the atomic bombs. Our baby ginkgo is establishing and growing strong. The University of Kentucky has been a Tree Campus USA for 10 years. In 2011, with help from Forestry Club, UK received its first Tree Campus USA designation. The criteria that are required for maintaining a Tree Campus USA is we need to have a Campus Tree Advisory Committee, we need a Campus Tree Care Plan, we have a Campus Tree Program with dedicated annual expenditures, an Arbor Day observance, and a service learning project. The Tree Campus USA is a great program that really showcases how much the university values its trees and its tree canopy. By having a tree care plan, it shows that we are thinking about the future of our trees. Our dedicated annual expenditures, we employ myself and our grounds superintendent and our arborist team, so we have dedicated expenditures that we are using to prune our trees, care for our trees, and plant new trees. Our Arbor Day observance is a great collaboration with the university's Arboretum and a lot of other folks involved in putting on our Arbor Day. Our Arbor Day in Lexington is held at the Arboretum, and it's the city's Arbor Day observance. Our grounds department participates in that. We have a station at the Arbor Day festivities where we will interact with the public and share what we know about trees. And our service learning projects are numerous. This is probably the hardest part about maintaining our Tree Campus USA is picking which project to use, because we do multiple tree plantings throughout the year. We do multiple mulching events throughout the year. With our partner, the Urban Forest Initiative, we do a lot of collaboration with our students with them, and it's actually pretty easy to maintain our Tree Campus USA when you have this much support. The grounds team is proud to work with a UK organization called the Urban Forest Initiative. The initiative, which we call UFI, started in 2014 as a group of UK students, faculty, and staff wanting to improve urban tree cover on UK's campus. Here are a few words from them.
So the main goal of UFI is to provide a space for all of the people in our community who are really thinking a lot about urban trees and protecting and maintaining those urban trees to get together and talk about what we're doing so we can create synergies between us and expand the effectiveness, I guess, and the realm of the work that we do. What we had in Lexington before were a lot of people working really hard on urban forest things, and it became more sustainable and more powerful and effective when we started working together.
I think we've been very effective in engaging UK students on the UK campus to promote their interests in tree health and the urban tree canopy and the canopy on their campus. And I think one of the notable things that this has done is really give UK students a sense of ownership, and so creating a sense of place. And so they love their trees, they love their campus, they love their city, they love their state. And it has grown from there, and it's really something that's really gratifying to see.
You asked what kind of came out of this. Tree Week is, like Mary said, like our biggest project, I guess, but again, it's its own thing. But I think that the biggest thing that came out of that was the growth that the UFI working group has gone through, making all these connections out to the community, reaching and being really truly connected with places like the school system or the nature preserves like Flora Cliff and such like that, and really just bringing them together. And so I feel like what came out of UFI is all these connections and getting that message out into the community. You can't create a sustainable world if you don't have people working in different aspects of that world, because we'll just use trees as an example. Trees touch everybody's lives in one way or another, whether it's cooling your house or whether it's absorbing the stormwater or whether it's cooling our city. So they touch us individually and they also touch us very broadly. They're a big piece of every construction job that goes in, whether that tree is something that they're going to protect or whether that tree is fundamentally in the way of what they need to do, because infrastructure is, we're in a city and we're going to grow and we have to do it sustainably, and you can't do that unless you're talking across those divisions and those boundaries.
Really just bringing it back to the partnerships that UFI has kind of created and engaged with. I think it's created a synergy. We don't all have the same goals. We may have similar goals. We can be working on many different projects or initiatives, but I think those partnerships culminate in this working group to determine, how we collectively work together and don't compete against one another. So I think that is a main success of the UFI group.
It's contagious, and it's contagious in the most positive way, that we feel more drawn to it when we get to do it in partnership with others, and that makes our ability to continue to do it much stronger.
The Grounds Department works with UFI in a few different ways. We support any outdoor learning and engagement opportunities that UFI wants to do on campus. That support comes in the form of labor hours of staff time preparing sites for work parties like mulching and planting trees. We also supply materials for these projects, which would be mulch and trees. The ISA certified arborists in the Grounds Department help lead educational demonstrations on tree care, and the Grounds Department partially employs the education coordinator of UFI to help maintain his full-time employment status and provides him the opportunity to practice the work of arboriculture. One really cool thing that the Urban Forest Initiative has done is created a program called Tree Cats, which the CATS stands for Collegiate Arborist Teams. The Urban Forest Initiative will select 12 to 20 students and actually pay them to come on Saturday to learn about tree care and arboriculture. And part of the project that they did one year was they taught how to inventory trees, how to collect that data. So UK Facilities values its engagement with our student community and our Lexington community. In 2019, we partnered with Lexington Fayette Urban County Government in their 20-year anniversary of their reforest to bluegrass. We planted 42 trees on the west side of our library with the help of students and people from our community. We were able to get these 42 trees planted in less than 2 hours with the amount of help that we had that day. The University of Kentucky has also been a tree campus healthcare for the last 2 years. We were part of the inaugural class of 16 institutions in 2019. Here are a few words from Dr. Connie Jennings, the medical director of the UK Integrative Medicine Clinic.
We need everyday nature. Where we work, where our patients come seeking help, and where our students come to learn. Science has shown us that building greener workplaces, taking care of our trees, our soil, and water could be a powerful and relatively inexpensive public health intervention. This would address not only our daily quality of life, but also population health and health inequality. As a land-grant university since 1862, we have taught generations reverence for our earth, the land and its effect on us, and our effect on it has been a vital part of our institutional mission. Our healthcare leadership emphasized green space when our recent PAV A was built. So the next time you're near the elevator bank in PAV A, look out the window and notice the green rooftops there. Green rooftops remove heat from the air. It reduces the energy needed for heating and cooling, as well as provides a significant aesthetic value. Many of us enjoy the green spaces around the hospital, such as the Healing Garden here at Markey, the outdoor dining area in Chandler Dining, our tree-lined walkways to the stadium, and the butterfly garden, one that we find right here in the middle of the Hughlett Drive parking lot. All these spaces remind us that healing takes place inside these walls and outside.
Being a part of this new designation of Tree Campus Healthcare has opened the door to a myriad of new opportunities on our Med Center grounds. With our involvement in this new designation, we have been able to pull in partners within the Med Center community to really champion the use of trees and landscaping in the Med Center grounds as part of the healing apparatus of these hospitals. The grounds department works closely with our waste management department. There are 627 outdoor waste containers on our campus. This includes 313 landfill containers and 314 recycling containers. In the spring of 2012, UK launched its first full-scale outdoor recycling pilot program. This new program outlines standards for outdoor containers, most important of which being that every landfill container be paired with a recycling container. All of our containers are metal with dome lids to prevent water, and recycling containers are marked by blue lids with restrictive openings. These containers are now part of the construction standard, meaning any new construction project must fund containers that match the rest of campus. We place our containers strategically around campus, choosing key spots along pedestrian walkways. Our goal is to make these containers easy to use and to reduce litter. When we place new containers, we collect feedback from the workers who service them to see if the placement is efficient. If they are not working, we move or remove the containers. Since the start of this project, UK Grounds has systematically removed older containers scattered around campus. The former containers were made of plastic, metal, or cement, and not always paired with a recycling container. 9 years into the project, we are almost finished with all of the replacements. In 2018, UK began a partnership to collect food waste from dining halls to compost at the university's research farm. This program allows unwanted usable material to be turned into usable material for our grounds operations. Here's how it works.
So if you've eaten at Champion's Kitchen at the Gatton Student Center recently and left any food on your plate, that food is now getting composted through our new Organics Compost Partnership Program. After each meal, visitors to the Champion's Kitchen place their plate on a conveyor that goes to the back of the house where UK dining staff cleans the food waste off of the plate, including the napkins, that then gets sent down into the pulper. The pulper is a machine that extracts the liquid from the food and then grinds it into smaller pieces, which makes it a great material for composting. Once a food waste container is full, the container gets placed on the loading dock where UK Recycling picks it up and puts it into the food waste compost truck. This truck has an automated lift that picks up the material and dumps it into the enclosed bed of the truck. Food waste is then transported to the C. Oren Little Research Center, located in Woodford County, one of UK's many farms that are managed by the College of Agriculture, Food and the Environment. The truck is then pulled into the scale where all of the material is weighed so we have an accurate measurement of how much food waste is being taken out to the farm and composted through this initiative. From there, the material is taken out to the compost pad, where it is mixed and incorporated with animal bedding, manure, and other organics such as leaves and yard waste. Organic material is managed through a windrow process that breaks down the material into compost, turning it into a great soil amendment. Once the truck is emptied, finished compost is put back into the food waste truck and is brought back to campus to the PPD greenhouse, where UK Grounds mixes it in with their topsoil to use as a soil amendment for those beautiful flowers we see throughout campus. Finished compost is also used at the UK South Farm to add to the Community Supported Agriculture, or CSA project. A major accomplishment of this program is reaching one of our goals listed in the Sustainability Strategic Plan to not only increase our recycling, but to increase our diversion rate to 50% by year 2022.
In 2019, we collected 62 tons of food waste, and in 2020, during the pandemic, we collected 32 tons. 100% of this material is used within the University of Kentucky system. Another program we have recently implemented is our green waste program. We collect leaves, logs, chips, and brush. We chip our logs and use them as mulch on campus. And the other material is mixed with food waste and turned into compost. Here's a short news piece that we were featured in that explains a little bit about how our green waste recycling program works.
One of the many ways that the Bluegrass State's flagship university is moving closer to its goal of reducing the amount of green waste into a full-blown campus-wide initiative.
Within the next 3 years, over half of the waste we produce, we want to either recycle, reuse, or compost. And so this green waste that we've been talking about today is going to get composted, it's going to get cycled back into another product, and in a lot of cases, we can close that loop and use that product on campus.
The university has invested in several new test products to help them get closer to its goal of reducing green waste on campus, including the addition of this new product called the Leaf Burrito.
Leaf burritos have been an important part of collecting our leaves to add to our green waste. We were filling 30,000 to 40,000 plastic bags of leaves a year. But with the leaf burritos, we can rake leaves into the mesh, zip it up, dump it in a green waste container, and reuse it over and over. Our green waste program diverted 336 tons of organics in 2019, and in 2020, we diverted 405 tons. All of this comes back to campus in the form of mulch or soil that we can use in our grounds operation. We have 8 gardens on campus that we keep as no-mow zones, which are used as educational resources and pollinator gardens. A student intern, Quincy Ipsaro, created a new 6,800 square foot pollinator garden at the Jacob Science Building this spring. The garden includes research plots for ecology students, as well as a curated landscape section to draw pollinators to campus. One of our more recent additions to our no-mow and pollinator habitat is our Scott Street Rail to Trail project. This is an old railroad bed that extends from Scott Street parking lot over to the School of Arts and Visual Studies. This was just a dirt path with steep slopes on both sides, but in the last few years we have controlled the weeds and introduced all pollinator habitat to these areas, and added a lot of lighting and repaved the pathway, making it a much safer corridor and a much prettier corridor to observe wildlife. The project that we are currently working on to convert steep slopes to pollinator and no-mow habitat is through our Cooper Tunnel, which is an access road that goes under one of the major roads on campus. The slopes are steep, difficult to mow, and a little bit dangerous for our teams to be on a regular basis. Once this project is completed, it will be about 1/3 of an acre of pure pollinator habitat. Another successful garden on UK's campus is a rain garden near our football field. Dr. Carmen Agaritas, Associate Dean for our College of Agriculture, Food, and the Environment, will tell you more.
And we are standing at the Cat's Catchment, or the rain garden off Farm Road, that was designed a few years back and installed by students here at UK. I was here for the design part of it, so we worked primarily myself and Brian Lee out of Landscape Architecture here at UK worked on the design of the project. We also worked with horticulture for plant selection, and the project was built by staff in the Biosystems and Agricultural Engineering Department. So getting the garden up was really asking people to change the way we viewed campus. Before, it was a mowed area. It stayed wet quite a bit because the entrance where the water came in and where it exited the drain were at the same location. But it took a lot of support from the College of Ag Administration to say, yes, we have faith in you and coming up with this design and putting it in place. And it, I believe, and from what I've heard, has been fairly embraced by the community around the College of Ag, because it embodies a lot of what we look for, right? It had students involved, it had faculty involved, it had staff involved. It looks at how do we handle stormwater. It offers opportunities for research, for education. So it's really become this outdoor learning environment that's also a part of the community. We're a research, teaching, and outreach facility here at UK, so we also have research projects that go on in the garden so students can learn to do research in. We have teaching, so classes come out and participate, but we also do extension, so we have folks from the community come out and we can talk through the process of what the garden's like. And as we had here recently, we also have students involved in service projects at the garden as well.
Dr. Agaritas, who you just saw speaking, is also heavily involved in stream restoration projects on campus. Stream restoration has become a focus of UK's long-term projects. The first major stream restoration project on campus began in about 2009 as a result of Lexington's need to improve its stormwater infrastructure. Down the entire length of Alumni Drive, which is one of the major corridors that cuts across the south end of campus, was a narrow ditch that would flood excessively when it rained. This ditch was widened and curved and flattened, and retention ponds were installed upstream of it. Parking lots were moved, underground retention under the parking lots was installed that would slow the water flow into this stream corridor, and it has become one of the prettiest corridors on campus for viewing wildlife and flowers. In 2017, we identified another area along the Alumni Drive corridor that was in need of stream restoration. We have partnered with the Lexington Fayette Urban County government and applied for a stormwater improvement grant, and were able to successfully restore stream flow and habitat directly behind 50 acres of athletic complexes that drained into this area. In creating this area, 3 unique stream flow types were created for educational opportunities, and an outdoor classroom was installed. UK has also just completed a pocket park in collaboration with the College of Design. Here's a video we produced on that project.
A lot of times, the perception of the distance between campus and downtown seems quite long, but actually we're really, really close. And where those two meet is really at this intersection where our park is located. Initially, we had thought of it as this temporary pop-up park, but the more that we work towards the project, the more we realize that we can find deeper collaborations between our community downtown and our campus, which are so closely related. Working with different partnerships on campus and stakeholders, this team of collaborators and people that were interested in supporting students just kept growing and growing.
My philosophy for part of my work with the university, which is to serve as connective tissue and really to help facilitate the use of the campus as a living laboratory. We work with Coca-Cola through their contract with the university on 2 projects annually. One that focuses on giving students the opportunity to have influence on campus, and one that focuses on student discovery. And I think with this one, we were able to pull funds from that student influence fund. That student design was going to be able to influence the campus by having the solar array here. It gave our student designers direct hands-on experience with how to think about designing solar into projects, especially landscape projects, where decentralized power generation can really decrease the project cost.
So on the south side of this property, we really needed to be, thoughtful and careful in the selection of the trees that are on that side, so that they wouldn't get to a point where they're shading out the solar panels. One of the most helpful student engagement opportunities that UK Grounds has is our portable sawmill. We purchased this sawmill in 2019 with a student engagement grant from JMI Coca-Cola. By having a portable sawmill accessible on campus, we are able to create opportunities for students in the Department of Forestry and Natural Resources, College of Design, which includes architecture and interiors, Department of Landscape Architecture, College of Fine Arts, and others, to learn about the potential of urban lumber and the operation of a portable swing blade sawmill. Lumber generated from the milling of campus trees is made available to students and faculty for use in learning projects that will benefit the campus and Lexington community.
Students in an urban and community forestry class at the University of Kentucky got to see this portable saw in action just outside the forestry building on the UK campus. The portable saw allows arborists to cut slabs of wood from large trees on site where the trees have been taken down. The wood then needs to be dried to remove moisture, then can be used to make beautiful finished wood products like these amazing pin oak coffee tables in UK's Gatton Student Center from trees removed on UK's campus.
Mulch is a great use, but being able to turn this into finished wood products that will last a long time is a much higher use. And so we're hoping to continue that and get more folks excited about using this material.
The versatile swing blade saw is used by an arborist from UK's physical plant. UK's Forestry and Natural Resources Department wants to promote the opportunity for others throughout UK's campus to obtain the unique material for students to use in their courses, like UK's College of Design, as part of the living laboratory environment.
If we plant 18 one-inch trees.
Nick Williamson teaches the urban and community forestry class and argues the best use of the tree, if possible, is to let it live.
The highest use of this tree would have been if it was still alive. Correct. If it was still photosynthesizing, still growing, still taking in carbon, all those things, right? And that's what we've talked a lot about. And that's kind of where the two bump up against each other.
But the portable swing blade saw is an effective, safe way to make dimensional and live edge lumber.
So we think it's a good fit for the large trees we have on campus, but it also allows us to kind of showcase this piece of equipment to folks around the state and be able to highlight the ability to take down these big trees.
Chad Nyman said mulch, firewood, and barbecue smoking wood are great uses of the wood, but upcycling the materials into long-lived functional pieces has a greater value.
I hope you enjoyed our tour today, and I just wanted to thank PGMS for inviting us for this opportunity. I look forward to you all coming to visit our campus in the future to see what we're doing firsthand and to see all of the new things that are in the pipeline and are in our near future. I'd also like to thank everybody in our department, because we couldn't do any of this work without you.